Rich Dad, Poor Dad revolves around the contrasting financial philosophies of two influential figures in Robert Kiyosaki's life: his biological father, whom he calls his poor dad, and his best friend's father, known as the rich dad. His poor dad was highly educated, held a stable government job, and believed in traditional routes to success such as earning good grades, attending college, and securing a well-paying job. In contrast, his rich dad, who had little formal education, built a business empire and accumulated wealth through entrepreneurship and investing. The book explores how both men shaped Robert's thinking and why he chose to follow the lessons of the rich dad to achieve financial freedom. So in this video, we will discuss a tale of two mindsets exploring Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But before starting the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. The importance of financial education. One of the most powerful themes in the book is the value of financial education. Kiyosaki argues that schools teach students how to be good employees but rarely educate them on how to manage money, build wealth, or think like an investor. He believes that financial literacy is more important than a high salary because without it, people often end up in a cycle working harder just to pay bills, taxes, and debt. According to the author, learning about assets, liabilities, income, expenses, investing, and business ownership is key to escaping the rat race and building lasting financial security. Assets versus liabilities. The fundamental rule. Kiyosaki explains one of the book's most critical lessons through a simple concept. The rich acquire assets, while the poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket, like rental properties, stocks, or royalties. A liability is something that takes money out, such as car loans, credit card debt, or a house with a large mortgage. Rich Dad teaches that in order to become wealthy, one must focus on building and growing their asset column. The poor and middle class often fall into the trap of increasing their expenses as their income rises, which keeps them financially stuck. Making money work for you. Another core principle of the book is learning how to make money work for you. Rather than working hard for a paycheck and relying on job security, the rich dad encourages Kiyosaki to think like an investor and an entrepreneur. He promotes the idea of creating passive income streams, money that flows in without requiring your constant labor. Examples include real estate investments, dividend-paying stocks, businesses that run without your daily involvement, or intellectual property like books or patents. The goal is to gain financial independence and freedom of time, not just wealth for the sake of luxury. The limitations of traditional employment. Kiyosaki critiques the traditional model of go to school, get a job, and work until retirement. While this may have worked for previous generations, he argues that today's economy is different. Inflation, job instability, and rising living costs mean that even well-educated professionals can struggle financially. The poor dad's path, while respectable, kept him dependent on a paycheck and government pension. Meanwhile, the rich dad's entrepreneurial mindset allowed him to thrive even during economic downturns. The lesson: jobs can make you a living, but investments and ownership make you rich. Mindset is everything. The book also emphasizes the role of mindset in building wealth. Rich Dad taught Robert that wealth begins in the mind. It's about how you think about risk, opportunity, and failure. The poor dad viewed money as something to be feared and managed cautiously, while the rich dad saw it as a tool for growth and impact. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," the rich dad would say, "How can I afford it?" Encouraging critical thinking and problem solving. This mental shift is crucial for anyone who wants to step out of financial struggle and into abundance. Learning by doing and taking risks. Rather than advising people to avoid mistakes, Kiyosaki encourages readers to learn from experience, take calculated risks, and embrace failure as part of the journey. He explains how most people are afraid to take financial risks, which keeps them confined to low-reward activities. His rich dad taught him early on to explore business opportunities, try investing, and even start small ventures as a child. By learning through action, Kiyosaki gained the confidence to build multiple businesses and income streams. The takeaway: you don't need to be perfect, you just need to start. The rat race and escaping it. A major theme in Rich Dad, Poor Dad is escaping the rat race, the endless cycle of earning money, spending it, and going back to work to earn more. The book argues that most people are caught in this loop because they don't understand how money works. They rely on one source of income and accumulate liabilities rather than assets. To escape, Kiyosaki recommends building passive income, acquiring financial intelligence, and breaking free from the consumerist mindset. True freedom, he explains, is when your assets generate enough income to cover your living expenses, so you're no longer tied to a job. The power of entrepreneurship. Kiyosaki makes a strong case for entrepreneurship and business ownership as pathways to wealth. He believes that starting a business allows people to create value, earn more, and benefit from tax advantages not available to employees. In his view, owning systems, whether it's a vending machine route, a franchise, or an online store, gives people leverage that working for someone else never will. The Rich Dad encouraged young Robert to observe how businesses work, understand cash flow, and seek out opportunities to generate income outside of traditional jobs. Financial freedom through passive income. Throughout the book, the ultimate goal is clear: achieve financial freedom through passive income. This means building up enough assets that generate income on their own, so you're no longer dependent on working. Kiyosaki shares how he invested in real estate and small businesses that produce steady cash flow. He also teaches that passive income isn't just about comfort. It's about having the freedom to choose how you spend your time. When your money works for you, you gain control over your life. Why financial independence matters more than job security. Kiyosaki repeatedly emphasizes that financial independence gives you control over your life, while job security often gives you only the illusion of safety. His poor dad clung to the idea of a secure job, working for decades in hopes of a pension. But Rich Dad taught Robert that real freedom comes when your income doesn't depend on an employer, boss, or government policy. When your assets cover your living expenses, you are no longer bound by financial worries, job politics, or the fear of being laid off. This mindset is revolutionary in a world where most people depend entirely on a single paycheck. How taxes affect the rich and the poor differently. A surprising but important lesson in the book is how tax laws benefit the rich. Kiyosaki explains that the rich understand how to legally reduce taxes using corporations, deductions, and smart investments, while the poor and middle class bear the burden of higher income taxes. Employees are taxed before they even see their money, while business owners and investors can spend before paying taxes. Rich Dad teaches that understanding tax law is a key part of financial intelligence, and this knowledge gives the rich yet another advantage in growing and preserving their wealth. A new way to think about money. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not just a personal finance book. It's a call to shift how we view money, work, and success. Robert Kiyosaki uses simple but powerful concepts to explain what separates the rich from the poor and why traditional education isn't enough in today's economy. His message is clear: to become financially independent, you need to take control of your finances, learn how money really works, and make bold but educated decisions. Whether you're a student, employee, or entrepreneur, the lessons in this book encourage you to think differently, act wisely, and build a life of freedom rather than dependence. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.